match here. Go ahead and take it away, guys.
All right, AVUltima versus ZenoAkoop, both previous champions of Clash of Comrades tournaments before. This is the Battle of the Titans right here, right now.
Yeah, this could have been the finals if the brackets look different, I believe. It's the way it is. So these two titans will face off in the semi-finals the way it is. Just waiting for AV to ready up.
Looks like he got Archimedes selected. Now he's considering going back to Quartermaster now. He doesn't feel the pressure, but it looks like he is going to stick with Archimedes for the time being. Just a cosmetic little thing, guys. Nothing really too important. But I am curious to see what Zeno is going to go into this one, because as we said before, he's a very consistent player, especially in his picks. It makes me wonder, is he going to go for the owl? Yes, he is going to go for the owl straight away. Fox owl this time, it looks like.
Wolf owl, even.
I mean, yeah, wolf owl, I mean, sorry.
Yes. And AV going for a more early game focus build so far. Let's see if he rounds it out with a tier 3 or not. Yeah, he does get the Fox. So... oh, he reconsiders. I think Zeno's...
oh!
This could be... if this comes down to a tier 3 stage of the game. But hold up, let's start the game first.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the little red plug to disappear. Here we go. In the right-hand corner, we got ZenoAkoop. In the left hand, we got AVUltima here right now. And on this nice little map here, nothing too much of a significance to really talk about on this one. The expansion, Zeno does have a very easy expansion, 2 easy expansions actually to consider. While AVUltima, not too far away.
Both players have decent expansion options, but ZenoAkoop does have his ferrets as usual, so I believe the map, just because of the ferrets, it's a good map for ferrets, so I think Zeno has a slight edge until tier 3s come out. And then the point I was going to make about tier 3s, the tier 3s in this game, is the Badger will have a hard time doing damage if there's a lot of mice or wretches from the owl in the field, since they will soak up a lot of Badger shots. So we'll have to see how the game ends up playing out. ZenoAkoop going for 7 farm Warren, AVUltima is doing the same. So fairly slow start for both players.
So I do want to ask, is that we've seen Fox and Owl in several of these comps by now, and we haven't really seen, we've never really seen it being pulled off. What do you think is the best way to get this tier 3 combination going?
The issue, I think, with double tier 3 is it relies on your opponent not being too aggressive. Because if your opponent is aggressive, then you have to keep rebuilding your army, and that will delay your tier 3s, because you simply won't have the food saved up.
Alright.
So just have to see if these players go slow, take it easy in their first game, or if we're going to see some action in a little bit.
Well, luckily for Zeno, he is very close to 3 expansions. So if he decides to go a slower farm-heavy route, he could do that. He has the option to do so, as well as transition to a more aggressive early game. It looks like he is not going to go into anything too aggressive right now. Zeno going to get his Warren of Toads. In the meantime, AVUltima has... now, we didn't really mention this. He's going for a triple tier 3 lineup here, both of lizards, squirrels, and pigeons, but he's going to go first with the squirrels and pigeons.
I think the lizards may have been a situational pick in case the map allowed for an easier rush. But now that he sees toads on ZenoAkoop, I don't think AV will use his lizards at all. The fact that he went pigeon so early, I thought he would go for tier 2, so he could heal up his skunks. But he just decided to expand instead, and ZenoAkoop has grabbed his own base, is building farms already, so we'll see AVUltima doing the same, grabbing some farms.
Alright, so are we...
It's just taking some time.
So we're going to be in for the long haul then, judging by this opening.
It does look like it. ZenoAkoop can take a 3rd or a 4th base if he wants to, whereas AV can easily take a 3rd with this position he's currently in, so chances are this will be a slow build-up until we see tier 3 from some of these players. Looks like ZenoAkoop's going to open the debate with a Wolf Warren coming down.
Ooh,
whereas AV is adding 5 Lizard Warrens hidden behind his expansion.
So I think I like this wolf choice right here. We usually don't... whenever we see a wolf plus tier 3 combination, we usually see the other tier 3 come out first, but this wolf coming out now, the wolf being a unit that buffs the building speed, buffs attack power, buffs pretty much everything by double the rate. So
Yeah,
putting the wolf
so
out
it's-
first ensures he can get his tier 3 owl out in time if he decides to go that way.
ZenoAkoop's economy is going to be really strong once this wolf is out, but I want to point out that AVUltima is building 15 lizards. They're about
Oh.
done, and he is going to go on the hunt. He's going to try and skirt around the edge of the map here, and maybe even
he
snipe
knows.
ZenoAkoop's expansion.
He knows that there's this small little passageway on the bottom. He's going to swing his lizards around
Yeah,
Zeno.
Xeno's too late. This is a dead mill.
Oh no, here it goes. He's now going to be attacking the mill right now. Although it looks like some of his units got pulled away and Zeno got his toads there in time. Blew up all his lizards! All his lizards are gone! AVUltima also he brought his entire army over, but he's not there himself right now. He has to retreat his army right now. He loses his pigeons. He loses most of his squirrels. What a disaster for AV.
Some of his lizards stopped targeting the mill, and if he'd gotten one extra shot on that mill, it would have been dead. But now the wolf is out, and these pigs are going to go into super farm mode, and Zeno is following up with another
more wolves! He has the owl on the way as well. AVUltima doesn't know this is going to happen right now. He's going to try to attack all full on, but the toads, there's such a huge presence for ZenoAkoop right now, and now he's going to have so many tier 3s on the field right now. He's going to try and go for it, though. He has his lizard out in the front line. They get a few warns, they get a few pigs. Some farms are already dead, though, from the 5-minute timer. But here we go. The wolf is now out. He's trying to buff as many units as they can. The pigs are even getting a buff right now, and AVUltima's units are just getting wiped out one by one, and he is going to pull out from this tech.
Problem for ZenoAkoop is he lost a lot of squirrel warrants. He let AV just pick away 4 or 5 warrants just like that. So now these double wolf owl is going to have to do a lot of work if Zeno wants to close out this game. Both players are even on it.
I see it. Look at how fast those units are moving right now. The mice are just scrambling around in circles. And Zeno, he's going to try to find his way through. Can't walk through that way, though. There's no passageway through the trees here. But he is going to grab a 3rd expansion right now. And he just has a rabid army of mice at his control now.
AV is switching out some of his lizards in favor of more squirrels, but what he didn't know is that all of Zeno's toads warrants were actually dead. So AV does decide to switch out of the lizards.
This could be a great value skunk game if he decides to go for the skunks, but he's going to stick with his tier 1 lineup here.
This one owl has produced about 8 ranges.
Oh my gosh.
And
Here comes AVUltima is going to witness this horror. And there go the mice! They just rush towards AVUltima's army. They smell the blood here right now. Here we go. Most of the lizards are gone. The squirrels are all gone as well. And that's going to be game. The entire army is obliterated as game number 1 goes to ZenoAkoop.
The double wolf owl combo, it gets up. And yeah, that is pretty strong. Once the combo is completely on the field. I was fearing for ZenoAkoop's life for a little bit, because he did he bought time for his tier 3s to come out while AV killed his warrants, but it was just about enough.
There was at one point AVUltima almost got that lizard ambush there to kill that mill, but the toads came in just in time to destroy all the lizards before they could kill the mill. And from then on, it just felt like AV was just scrambling to get something done. He had his massive tier 1 army, but nothing could get done. In the very end, ZenoAkoop was able to get his tier 3 combinations out and just stomped all over AVUltima's units.
It's a very, very interesting game. Few moments where it could have swung either way, like one extra lizard spear, and that would have been a dead base. Maybe going a little bit earlier, perhaps, or not losing his commander during that attack, and he could have done more damage. It's hard to say. We'll see if AV lets Zeno do his thing again this game.
I'm
this is definitely ZenoAkoop going for his strategy and playing his own little game.
I mean, I could suspect AV might want to go for a much more early aggression type of build here, not let Zeno build up to critical mass like last time. Although again, he almost beat Zeno in that one lizard rush, but you know, sometimes some of your lizards don't listen to you and they attack something else.
Yeah, it's the way the targeting works. It's hard to get 15 lizards to attack the same thing, even if it is a mill. So, all right, here we go.
All right,
game 2.
So Zeno, are we going to see the same draft from Zeno? Maybe exchange the wolf out.
We'll have to see. I think if I were playing in these games, I would not change my build if I'm winning with it. And looks like that's what ZenoAkoop's thinking.
There it is. Once again, squirrels, toads. Oh, he's thinking about the tier 3s, though. He is going to bring the Falcon out this time.
Maybe he's taking his time to consider this.
No, I mean, he's wondering how much of a read AVUltima could get on him. He wants to see if he can try to maybe play some mind games against him. It is interesting. I'm really curious what AVUltima is going to choose. He's taking a long time to think about this one.
Yeah, it's probably trying to figuring out how to deal with the early wolf, and then the fact that if you get the early wolf out, then your next tier 3 will only take a total of 40 seconds to complete, rather than 40 seconds for the Warren, 40 seconds for the. So, it's,
right.
if the wolf does come out.
Looks like we have a no structure build for Zeno. He's going to forego the machine gun nest for a Falcon. So give him a nice flying unit there. Get some extra vision for the squirrels just in case. Meanwhile, AV still thinking about this one. Oh, moles. The moles are going to come out for this one. Are we going to see? Is top 4 going to be the game of mole rushes?
I wouldn't say so. I've only seen it it was only really successful in one game so far. I think the key for AVUltima is to go for a tier 2 pressure rather than a very early game rush, because I think Zeno's deck is at the weakest when he's trying to get out his tier 3.
We're gonna see the Wolf Badger this time. This is a combination theory crafted, seen in some casual games, of a super scary badger and a wolf.
Double wolf badger is impossible to beat.
It's unstoppable. The badger moves around it's so fast, it's so powerful. But will AVUltima have the chance to do it? Here we are, game number 2 right now, and this nice little waterlogged map here. AVUltima in the left side of the map, being surrounded by water with a single land bridge. ZenoAkoop on the right side of the map, being surrounded by high ground and water. This could possibly turn into another long game, although AVUltima doesn't have that many easy accesses to expansions like Zeno's side.
It'll depend on whether or not players build ferrets. Whoever builds ferrets will be able to pressure fairly easily on a map like this, but they may skip the ferrets altogether, like Zeno did last game in Viv to get the tier 3.
It does look like we might see the 7 or 8 farm build come out here. Before, I think in top 8 was pretty much all like 5 farm, 6 farm builds, but now we're going to, for this one particularly, this matchup, we're going to go for a much slower 7 farm, 8 farm build.
Yeah, both players, especially Zeno, likes to secure his economy as soon as possible, and I think AV realizes this and just wants to do the same thing. Although AV is going to switch it up a little bit, go 7 farm double Warren, whereas ZenoAkoop goes 7 farm and then build the 8 farm. So if AV gets these squirrels on the high ground, he can't really attack directly from the high ground, but he can always retreat to it if he wants to.
Do you think we'll see an option for AV to take? Well, I was about to say Zeno's going to be taking the high ground mill, but do you think AVUltima might think about an aggressive mill?
I don't think there's really good options, except for the one maybe to the north of Zeno's base, but that leaves maybe a bit too much space to the south, so AV exposes his own base too much. It's hard to say, but Zeno goes for a very early mill, and AV went for early army, so he definitely has the lead in army value right here. ZenoAkoop's trying to catch up in squirrel count. We'll have to see if he can manage.
Zeno, he sees the marching army right now. He's going to run back to base, call up his units right now, but AVUltima has his eyes on the prize right now. He sees this mill, and he wants it gone. 60 food from Zeno, possibly dead. Although it does attract Zeno's army, so AVUltima is going to turn his troops right around and takes out all of Zeno's units. So this pretty much gives him somewhat of a free time. He only has 3 squirrels at the ready, though, so he is a little bit nervous about attacking into this right now, so he might back off for the time being. In the meantime, Zeno's going to use this chance to chase away AVUltima, and it looks like AVUltima not going to get too much done here.
Yeah, ZenoAkoop, he has the high ground vision from his mill, and AV couldn't really keep going because his squirrels were just going to hit the Warren. They didn't have enough squirrels alive to really kill any Warrens, so a failed attack from AV, I want to say, because Zeno can start putting farms down now and is in a pretty comfortable position. But it looks like AV just wants to go again soon with this Skunk Warren that's coming out.
Well, he's got anything.
Good choice against these squirrels and toads.
Nope, he is gonna possibly wait for the skunks to get finished building. About 1/4 of the way through building, so we're gonna have to wait a few more seconds for that one to go. He is gonna grab his second expansion up to the bit north of his base. In the meantime, he's gonna gather his army across the river once again and see if there is any opening. But Zeno, he's plopped his army right in the middle between his two mills on the high ground. Probably not the best time for him to do an attack.
Zeno going for a third mill as well, just to grab more territory. I think this is okay. Even if he doesn't put any farms on it anytime soon, he still has the... still gives him some vision and gives him something on the high grounds. AV has 2 skunks out now, so it looks like he wants to go for a push with 15 squirrels and 2 skunks.
And
he
Zeno,
has some farms to back it.
Oh, he is going to grab that center mill. And Zeno, he's put down a Falcon Warren. 1 Falcon almost there, 3/4 of the way through. In the meantime, here comes the engagement right now. The skunks are pouring their gas on the field right now. They're going to try to get away. And it looks like the skunk gas hits its mark in a very nice position here. Prevents Zeno from approaching the high ground. And now AV, he might think about attacking this mill here. But here comes the rest of the army. The toads go off and the skunks are gone. But the mill is gone for Zeno as well. There goes a lot of his economy right now. And now they're going to wear down this tier 2 Warren from the Falcons here. AVUltima squirrels are gone, but they are being refilled very shortly here. But nice amount of economy damage to Zeno.
With this, AV is back in the game. He loses all of his tier 2, but he snipes ZenoAkoop's tier 2 Warren, and he gets the mill. So ZenoAkoop no longer has the economy lead. Has to rebuild a Falcon Warren, it looks like. Oh, he's adding in more tier 1. He's not deciding getting tier 2 just yet. There it goes. So he's rebuilding his Falcon Warren. And AV's second skunk is about to pop out, so he can just go again if he wants to.
Yep. It looks like Zeno going to have to rebuild the Falcon Warren. And in the meantime, he's thinking about attacking this forward base from AVUltima. It's a freebie. Might as well give it to him. It's already halfway dead. There it is.
I think this is good for AV because it reveals Zeno's army position on the map. And now AV
it's like, hey, tit for tat, he says. I want to take this mill of yours up here. And there we go. Zeno, he also put money to rebuild that mill on the bottom there, so he really is trying to sharp his economy game. But AV, he's going to bring his skunks back in once more, trying to lay down, but the one skunk is gone already. AVUltima is retreating. The toads! The skunk is gone as well. AVUltima only has squirrels at his disposal, and they're being chucked down. He's going to escape with his own life right now. And Zeno is going to be able to defend, but again, he loses another mill in the process up north. And it seems like both of these guys going neck and neck so far still.
Well, the big part of this game is AV is forcing Zeno to keep rebuilding his army, and ZenoAkoop is on 4 farms right now. So he doesn't really have the option to keep rebuilding. So if AV just keeps up the pressure and keeps his economy game strong, which he can easily do, he can grab another base all the way on the north of the map, which is going to be fairly uncontested. And he can just keep up the pressure. It looks like AV is in a really good position to take this game.
Alright, Zeno with 3 Falcons as disposable. Because you can tell that when the ward is destroyed, you still keep the units that are left alive.
AV has started a Badger, which may be what ends up closing out this game.
Yeah. I was about to mention, just the way this game is going, we might not even see this Badger come out, but it looks like we're going to see a bit of a wraparound here. Zeno going to go attack from the south. He has a small ragtag army here. And AVUltima, he's at the base like, where is Zeno? And he realizes that now Zeno attack. We're going to have another base race here on our hands in the top 4 right now. ZenoAkoop is going after this mill of 8 farms. AVUltima only has 1 farm at his disposal right now. And he does have 1 mill up to the high north belt right now, so it looks like AVUltima, he might be able to win out this base race here. Zeno trying to still tear down this one here, but he doesn't know where the last mill is. It's way up to the north. In the meantime, AVUltima is right here. He's getting ready to kill this final mill, and that's it. AVUltima will be taking game number 2 in a very surprising base race.
ZenoAkoop going for a sneaky counterattack to hit AV's economy, but in a game like this, on an open map like that, it's really tricky to keep track of your opponent's army position, and AVUltima had prepared for the base race with a distant third mill. So he, whenever you have a chance of a base race, you want to build a mill somewhere on the map that your opponent doesn't know about. And that ties up the series 1-1. We have a best of 3 to go.
We have a set, guys. We still have up to 4 more games left to witness here. AVUltima countering the economy play of Zeno. And now, Zeno, are we going to see him still stick to the same thing this time, or will this loss cause him to change up tactics a little bit?
I think the strategy for ZenoAkoop was fine. It's just AV pressured him really well with in the early game. I think Zeno was a little bit too greedy with his economy, perhaps. It's hard to say. The fights were really close either way. Zeno went for a very, very early expansion, which may have been a little bit too early.
Alright, well, here we go. We're going to be waiting on for game number 3 right now. Both of them just trying to catch their breath here after that game. Zeno attempting to go for a base race. And AVUltima gaining revenge after that first game, you know, getting traumatized by the double wolf owl. He's like, you know what? I'm not going to let you even get to that point.
Yeah, this AV going for enough aggression so that Zeno can't really get out his tier 3 ball. So here we go into the army selection screen. The third game between AVUltima and Zeno.
Zeno is going to be picking up the skunks here. He's going for that tier 2 pressure here himself now. He's only picking up owls with his build. Now he's going to be picking up balloons. In the meantime, AVUltima gonna go with moles again in his composition. Well, not moles again. He didn't go for it in the first game, but he was the second game. But he was thinking about it. But he is going to go with the pigeons as well. He has the fox at his disposal too. Here we go. It's going to be game number 3. AVUltima versus ZenoAkoop here. Just going to wait a few seconds for us to connect. And here we go. Zeno up to the north and AV to the slightly south and west.
This is a half-size map.
Oh my gosh, this is a small as hell map. Look at half the map down here doesn't even may as well not even exist.
And there's no windmills on it either, so if players count the amount of mills on the map, they'll realize this. There's probably nothing down there.
Are we in for a low economy game?
No, this could very well be a high economy game because ZenoAkoop has 2 back expands and a side expand, and AV has a side expand. So this is an easy 2-base game for both players if they want it. So ZenoAkoop is by far favored on this position.
Alright, well here we go. Both again going for that 7-farm build here. And just scouting things around. And this very interesting hilly map, ZenoAkoop, with the high ground here, does have the help of ferrets and balloons and the owl here to help things out just a little bit here. What do you think? So AVUltima, he is going to be building that first warren here on his own. Zeno going to be responding with a warren as well. What's going to be the game plan here for AV then?
It's hard to say. AV is going to need pigeons to provide high ground vision. He might go for a pigeon, mole, squirrel push, which may be really strong this time. But I can't read these players' minds. Both of them going for 7 farm and then an army. ZenoAkoop realizing that he has the better position and he does not want to give this up.
Alright, he's going to be reinforcing the high ground with a warren up there. So 1 warren next to his farm, 1 warren on the 3rd high ground up there in the middle of the map. In the meantime, both sides just shoring up their squirrel army. Just making sure they have basic units to fight with, just in case it comes to an aggressive type of play here. Zeno is going to be bringing out the toads for his side. But
these toads have been surprisingly effective, even though no one is going lizard. Zeno is going to... Zeno sells the warren to go early skunk.
He sold off his toads and went straight for skunk. He sees AVUltima building into a lot of squirrels right now, so...
I believe this could be very strong, but at the same time, AV is adding on moles to support these squirrels. And the toads, because they got sold, will not be around too much for this fight.
AVUltima having a bit of a tough time trying to scout things behind Zeno's base. At the same time, Zeno is going to almost sneak his way through to the farm.
AV has a little bit of a farm lead for a little bit now, because he has decided to build his 8th farm, whereas Zeno is still on 7. But the first skunk is going to be out for this push from AV. So I believe AV is going to have a really hard time making this work.
We do see AV swing his units around the mill to the north right now, although he is not going to commit to this one quite yet. He sees the army, decides to not do it. Probably saw the skunk too as well. He just
If Zeno gets his signature ferrets on top of this skunk, I don't think there is a way for AV to really contest anymore. It looks like he wants to go.
Oh, he does. They do cut the commander right now. Here they go. The Toads are making their mark right now. The moles are already gone. They haven't done too much to the battle right now. The skunk is going to be taken down, however, but the second skunk has already been reinforced, and AVUltima going to be ultimately chased away.
Yeah, the pure squirrel eventually cannot stand up to the skunks, so AV has to back out. The fact that he lost the moles kind of makes it a bad trade for him. He has a lot of food to work with, so we'll have to see what he ends up going for.
He still
might be a fox.
Still hasn't decided to go for that second warrant quite yet. He is going to go straight into the fox. Sees the skunks, wants to pick them off from far away if possible. Zeno is going to be
food to do this.
Oh, this is not great. He lost the commander right now. Zeno's going to use this advantage to try to take out the squirrels as much as he can. Half the squirrels are already gone right now. There they go. The warriors are now being targeted one by one. AVUltima dying there may have been a fatal mistake for his side of the map here, as the red skunk gas slowly choking out AVUltima's side of the map here. All the squirrels are gone. Only 2 left. No war. He only has a fox still building in the back right now. This is game. ZenoAkoop basically taking the game number 3.
These commander deaths swinging so hard ever since the change that commanders no longer take reduced damage on low HP. Players, I think, are still trying to figure out how to deal with that, because suddenly your commander is dead. And then what do? You have 7 seconds. If your army is out of position, then chances are you lose.
And especially when AV put his units so far up forward, close to Zeno's own army. Just dying right there.
Yeah, if AV's army had perhaps been on top or a little bit behind the warrens, it could have been better, but then his warrens would have been full of skunk gas, so it would be difficult.
Just one of those very few games where a commander death does actually lead into a loss here. So, we say that your commander dying doesn't matter too much. In cases like this, where you don't have command of your army, it can be quite deadly to your side.
If both armies are in close positions, then the commander dying is generally bad, even though it doesn't necessarily lose you anything. If your army is not in a good position while your commander is dead, then it is going to be hard.
Well, in any case, we are going to be going to the game number 4 draft right now. Zeno is 1 game away from going into the grand finals to face off against Deadbones, but AVUltima not going to go down without a fight. We already have our builds ready here. Let's go. Fox versus Owl once more on both sides. Game number 4, guys. Once again, the mills are pretty close to each other again. Zeno to the middle of the map, AVUltima to the southwest once again, with Zeno his back to a giant lake.
Oh dear. Matters.
Alright, so what's the big deal about this map placement? What is going to happen here?
ZenoAkoop has 2 back expands. AVUltima has a decent expansion all the way in the south. I want to say that the previous map actually wasn't all too bad for AV. It's just the way that he didn't build. He had pigeons but didn't build them, so he didn't have high ground vision. And he went for lots of squirrels against the skunk, so that wasn't a great play. ZenoAkoop's going to go for early squirrels just to break my train of thought here, but AV has scouted it and is building his own things.
So I'm just staring around this map just a little bit. Like, the entire right side of the map has blended into the out of bounds area, which is quite interesting. I've never seen a map.
I don't think
quite
there's
like
anything
this.
bad about a map being smaller just because part of it is useless. It's just more about how the mills are positioned, where the high ground is. AV...
Ooh.
So Zeno sold his early warren and may end up paying for it.
And right now, AVUltima chipping away. This one squirrel is out at the moment, however, so he is able to push away AVUltima's squirrel.
AV's
no damage,
squirrel
however.
timing is a lot stronger.
He's going to go for it again. He's going to be just chipping down this warren here. Right now, the squirrels are making their way through from Zeno's side, but they're getting taken out
Zeno
easily.
has no squirrels.
He has no army. He cannot contest this. He has 1 squirrel, but it instantly goes away. Zeno doing his best, trying to get the mills set up here, but he has no more money left. All he has are warrens that are building, and AV can just easily take him down just like that. And Zeno, he's here. He's trying to protest AV. Please don't do this to me. I have a wife. I have children. Please don't do this, AV. That's game. We're going to go to a game number 5, ladies and gentlemen.
ZenoAkoop going for an early Warren. AV counters it, scouts it, and then Zeno sells the Warren, so AV has earlier units and plays it perfectly.
Oh man.
And that ties up the series. And players are going straight back into it.
Like, we're gonna do this again.
That's it. It comes down to one game.
One
ZenoAkoop.
decision right there.
Yeah. Alright. No downtime. Let's go.
Alright, this map. Here we go. We have Zeno in the south. We have AVUltima to the right. AVUltima has a lot of mills on his side of the river. Zeno has 2 mills on the side of the river.
Let's just say times have changed.
Okay, so it's not like it's a complete river. There is a land path to the north that Zeno could possibly take, but you know,
this is a very slow map. Zeno has 3 bases in total, and AV has 6 if he wants to.
Oh my gosh! Although sadly, he does not have the wolf nor badger in his build, so Fox not the best thing to take advantage of.
Multiple owls are still very good.
Yeah, so Zeno could probably try to use the 2 mills to build up as many owls as he can, but
this is probably the closest I've seen to a mirrored map. Unfortunately, there is a river that kind of splits it in AV's favor. But both players just have like 2 easy expansions, which is oftentimes all you need in Different Tale.
Alright, we do have Zeno with the ferrets though. Do you think he can use ferrets to full effect here? Just place them on his own side of the river and just pepper away at AVUltima's units across it?
Well, AV doesn't have to come near the river if he doesn't want to.
That's
he can
true.
take the bases in the back first, which he probably will do.
Alright,
Zeno does have balloons, which could be very strong this game. Yeah, we'll have to see how this game ends up playing. Both players going... Alright, they do the same thing.
Yep,
Going for squirrels.
Looks like it was 6 farm double squirrels. And yeah. I mean, it looks like, I think just like game number 1, we're going to be set in for another long game here.
It's most likely. Players did go into the game really quickly, so we didn't really have time to talk about the picks. AV ends up going for the Fox for his tier 3, which it's a decent Fox map. He will need to get pigeons for high ground vision, and if Zeno counters with balloons, then the Fox can get shut out as well. So it could be a scouting timing kind of thing. AV might be going for a very early Fox. Exactly what he's doing.
There it is. He's going to take advantage of the map as much as possible here.
Yeah.
Will Zeno scout it out? He cannot approach
no way
it.
He can scout it with his squirrels in that position. So yeah, AV is going to get a Fox out uncontested.
In the meantime, AVUltima sees his opponent going for squirrels and tails before losing his life there. It's okay. This time he can lose his life without any worry.
Zeno going for the skunk, so he is expecting some earlier aggression, and then he probably expands behind it. So if Zeno doesn't get a balloon out in time, then the Fox is going to be able to do a lot of work.
Alright, so here's my question to you right now, since we may be in for the long game, might see tier 3s come up for both. Ooh, before that, Zeno does make his way across. Can he scout that on the high ground?
No.
He cannot, no.
There is no way up.
No, he cannot see it. He is blind to it, and he cannot approach anymore. He thought he could find something in the back of the map, but he is going to go down again. The machine gun net's doing the last bit of work there. So I was going to say, since we are going to most likely be going into the long game, and we're going to have most definitely possibly tier 3 versus tier 3, the Owl versus Fox matchup, what do you think happens there?
Very, very Owl favored, because the Fox just has a really hard time actually hitting the Owl. ZenoAkoop is going for very greedy economy here, which is okay on this map, but he doesn't have a balloon yet, and the Fox is going to be finished in 10 seconds.
Alright, 7 farms immediately down.
MG, put some farms down, and it's go time for him. He does have the pigeons to provide vision.
Oh, he went for that 8th farm. He's going all in on the economy right now. AVUltima.
Here's the Fox. Zeno is going to see it right now.
Uh-oh. Zeno, you gotta get back to base, son. You're gonna lose your units right away. The Fox trying to find some sight lines right now. Gets onto the skunk. Almost gets him down in one shot. Takes the squirrel out instead. But here comes the rest of the army to help clean things up just a little bit right now. AVUltima uses this as a chance. There's nothing here to really stop the Fox, other than bad micromanagement here from AV. But AV is not going to let that happen here right now, just dodging in and out with the Fox right now. His army's in the back at the moment. Skunk Gas is going to be laid down from Zeno's side of the map. His 2 skunks still healthy at the moment. But AVUltima is still going to weave in and out with his Fox right now. It does look like AV is going to lose all his squirrels, unfortunately. He only has the Fox right now, and he might have to back out because of that.
Yeah,
and the balloon is now up.
Okay, the balloon is up, so Zeno is safe for a while. AV has no real other way in. Unfortunately for AVUltima, the skunk gas killed all of his squirrels that were trying to kill the balloon. So AV... Okay, so he can pick off at more squirrels like this, but he is behind in economy. And Zeno has another base that he's taking away.
Alright, Zeno's starting to short his army up. 15 squirrels, going to be up very, very soon. Meantime, he hasn't really started to build anything quite yet. Still waiting for that economy. He's actually going for more farms. Okay. Third expansion right into more farms. He wants a gigantic army.
With Zeno going double balloon on this high ground, there is no way the Fox can do anything right now. So the correct play for AV, if he realizes what's going on, would be to expand as fast as possible and get his own economy up to shape. Because this Fox there is no way he can do anything with it.
Alright, well, AVUltima looking like he's going to go for a second round. He has a skunk until this time. But the balloons, they're going to be quite a bit of a barrier there. And right now, just dancing outside the periphery, the balloon range, the squirrels are going to take a few hits there. 3 down on the side of AVUltima. He's going to back off for now. Doesn't feel safe enough to pressure on in.
Zeno starts his first Owl Warren. And yeah, I hope AV can adapt. Can adapt in time to this strategy. Because if Zeno gets this 1 owl and perhaps 2 owls, it could be very strong for him.
Alright.
Then again, if the game goes another 5 minutes, then ZenoAkoop is going to be in a very bad economic position, because he will not really have anywhere to go, and it's up to AV to deny him.
Now, this could be just a game of starvation if AV reads this one right. He probably been across the river several times, knows that there's probably only 2 mills, 3 even, and he has far more on his side of the water. And right now he's going to be shoring up his tier 1 army, just putting down so many squirrel warrens. 10 squirrel warrens.
The toads are the one thing that AV has to work against these owls, because he needs a way to kill the mice, the wretches. Zeno is going triple owl, it looks like.
Oh gosh.
Realizing that he has and adding in ferrets, so his economy is completely crazy. But if AV can hold this insane push that's coming up, then AV is probably set to take the game.
Alright, well,
let's just
right
hope the game doesn't crash.
Oh my gosh, I just realized that is a possibility too. Anyways, here we go. AVUltima is going to be pouring right on in. Toad's doing the work right now. He sold off his Fox a long time ago, however, so he will not have this for a fight, but Skunk X is now being laid down. 1 balloon is taken down, but the Owl is doing its work right now, and AVUltima loses almost everything.
With the choke point like that, it's really hard for AV to do the damage with his squirrels. Just he takes out a balloon, but since he's sold his Fox ages ago, there is no real need to contest that balloon position anymore. So the game situation has changed again, and now ZenoAkoop has 2 ferrets, 2 skunks, and 3 owls as his army.
All those wretches.
400 food.
Look at even without the wolf buff from the last game, they're still hungry for blood right now. And here they go. The Toads are now trying to fly their way for AVUltima, but the damage is still being done to AVUltima's side of the base. And now Zeno, he's pouring his army into the map right now. Skunk Gas being laid out from behind. The ferrets are doing the work from far ahead as well. And the owls are just moving overhead, watching their wretches do damage to AV's farms right now. 1 mill is going to be down for AV at this moment. Zeno, he's going to hang around back a little bit. He grabs a mill behind the river there. And now he's going to continue to press on forward. AVUltima, 1 skunk, 2 squirrels, 2 toads, and a pigeon. This small motley crew not going to be able to do too much against the mighty force of Zeno's 3 owls here. The ferrets are also doing the damage again, still from the back lines. He's even putting down balloons thanks to the really forward mill that he's building far to the top of even, just to add insult to injury. There it is. ZenoAkoop takes game number 5.
What a series, and what a game to end it on.